The electronic strip maps are not in service. Please listen for announcements and watch the displays.
This is a Bronx-bound 1 train. The next stop is Rector Street.
This is a Bronx-bound 6 express train. The next stop is 14th Street, Union Square. This is 14th Street, Union Square.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you exit, please be careful of the gap between the platform and the train. Transfer is available to the 4, 5, L, N, Q, R, and W trains.
This is a Bronx-bound 6 express train. The next stop is Grand Central, 42nd Street.
Chaos. Vandals in motion. Page 104. The Blue Painters.
The Blue Painters came along in 1995. I only heard rumors to start with that other writers had had their commuter train pieces painted over in blue paint.
This is
Borough Hall.
Transfer is available to the 2, 3, and R trains.
This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the rear of the platform.
It turned out that SL had hired 2 Finnish guys who had come from Värmland with a load of blue paint. One of them was called Risto, drove a car with Finnish plates, and had pitched the blue paint idea to SL. It started with pieces sporadically getting painted over on the trains in Sundbyberg and Väsby. We didn't understand, and thought they were guards since they showed up at times when people were writing. Then we realized they were just a couple of bums. But we still didn't understand what they wanted, or why they were painting over the pieces.
I had seen some train cars painted blue, but it took a while before I realized they were actually painting over pieces inside the layups, that they were out looking for graffiti.
This is a Wakefield 241st Street bound 5 local train. The next stop is Allerton Avenue.
At first you would wonder if SL couldn't afford buffing anymore. Then you would realize that your piece was painted over without going to the buff, that they were painting over the pieces inside the layups.
It was a strange situation. People would come into the layup and paint over your piece. The problem was that you didn't want your piece painted over because you wanted to be able to take a photo of it in daylight. The Blue Painters were a special case, because usually when SL buffed the trains, they removed the paint. Here they added more to the trains, a sort of graffiti censorship situation.
This is a Bronx-bound 5 express train.
The next stop is
14th Street, Union Square.
They could play dirty sometimes and travel out to a yard, paint over some old piece, and then sit and chill inside the train until morning. During that time, we'd be sitting outside waiting for them to leave. They were completely illogical in their way of working, so it was hard to know how they were going to do next. After a while, SL seemed to think it was working so well that they hired more blue painters who were more organized. Some writers used to paint before the blue painters arrived at night, but I preferred to wait them out and paint once they'd gone. You got better pictures that way.
This is
Fulton Street.
Transfer is available to the 2, 3, A, C, and J trains.
The first time I encountered the Blue Painters was one evening when Kaos and I were out in Väsby. Kaos was drunk and fell asleep on a bench in the woods, and I sloped off to the layup to write. I went around pretending to tag the cars to see if anything happened. Nothing did, and everything seemed cool. When I went to wake Kaos up, I saw him by the noise barrier further away. I waved to him, but as he approached, I saw it wasn't Kaos at all. It was a cop. Cops were coming from all directions, and there was nowhere to run. They picked me up and found the cans I'd dumped nearby. They told me that there had been blue painters in the car who had called the cops. I was brought to the nearest police station, but they let me go pretty soon. Then it all fizzled out, and I was never convicted for that. It was only trespassing after all. I don't know what happened to Kaos, but I guess he woke up in the morning and went home.
This is a Manhattan-bound 5 train.
The next stop is Newkirk Avenue.
This is a Manhattan-bound 5 train.
The next stop is Beverly Road.
This is a Manhattan-bound 5 train.
The next stop is Church Avenue.